Last week, actually last few weeks, last 2 weeks, we discuss about software development life cycle and importance of the software development or the software engineering process by discussing the importance of information as most valuable economic resource in the world. And therefore, we came to a conclusion that the engineering process is required to build a software since it is critical. And that engineering process has several steps. We discuss about these steps, including the requirement analysis, planning or the system designing, coding, and also system development and testing. So these are the steps. These are some steps of SDLC. So then we started doing our programming, actually the planning part. The planning part was started with a tool called flowcharts. Then we learn about the flowchart symbols, and also we have started drawing flowcharts. And according to the flowchart, we have done or we have created something called pseudocode. In your examination, Pute, so they will basically ask about this pseudocode. So normally when they ask to write a code, you can write this pseudocode. That you are lucky because you don't want to write this Pascal code most of the time, right? I'm not guaranteeing this 100%. You don't want to write Pascal codes, but so Pascal is just to practice. They are not emphasizing or they are not highlighting that you need to write Pascal code, but except in some situations they are asking that. Mostly they are testing these skills using pseudocodes. The advantage is you can write it in your free English or structured English. No need to write sentences, no need to write long descriptions. So what is happening in the program, you have to write as a short structured English note like this. Here start, then input number 1, number 2, number 3, add in the numbers, find in the total, display the total, and display the average and finish. Simple as that. So if you explain like this, you will be given marks. Unless they are explicitly asking you to write the Pascal program. But for the practicing purpose, Pute, we are learning Pascal. Right? Okay, we have done this stuff. I would like if students join in the early stage, but I know that it is very, very, very difficult to find O-level ICT students at the last moment. I know that because, you know, I was doing O-level ICT in 2009. So some students who were there in my batch, I can show you one day, I'll show you, right? So now some of them are actually, they came out of the campus of the universities and some of them are even married, having kids. Right? Because 2009 means like so long ago. But after that, I joined in 2010, I joined with ESOF Metro Campus as a lecturer and as a manager. Then I was working there for 10 plus years. So at that time, actually, ESOP, there's a rule, we cannot conduct any personal classes, private classes while being in the ESOP. So I was teaching this after O-level kids and after A-level kids mostly. And university kids, London Metropolitan University kids, and also the BIT, Bachelor of Information in Colombo and Monaco University. So those kids, I was teaching them. And I couldn't teach O-level students for a long time. But I think that is when I think about my past, I'm really upset because I know I could serve school students more than that. I was doing seminars in schools, especially main schools in Dampa, Ratnavali, Bandaranaike College, and in main schools in Ball like Sangamita, and in Colombo also Wesley College like Candy Pushpadana, Sonnamali, all these colleges, schools. I was doing a lot of seminars, different places, different time. Even in Bangladesh, I did some seminars for Bangladesh students. But those seminars are just 1 or 2 days works. So that is not helping the students much. So most of the seminars, students were asking about this flowchart, pseudocode part because they feel that part difficult. But after resigning or after leaving ESOP, I was thinking, I must teach students in schools. Why? Reason number 1. The students that we get after A-levels in university are really having poor skills in ICT. This is, so you can ask from other ICT lecturers, is this true or false? So that is the situation. Most of the students we get after A-levels are having very poor skills in ICT. They don't have any practical ability. They only think about the examination. They wrote the examination, they know the theory, but they don't know how to apply that and do something. So that is one point. I thought it is really, really bad. Why? Because the fundamental layer or the in grade 6-7 period, they have not exposed to the ICT. They don't know about ICT in the early stages. So I'll give you one example. Today in grade 10 class, I was explaining this keyboard and the keys. So let me ask the same questions from you, what I asked from grade 10 students. Okay, so can you tell me what is the name of this key number 44? Can you see the key number 44? What is that key, Pute? Yes. I think if you were there in the grade 10 class, you might answer. 44, here, this one. What is this key? At least the below one, this one. Come on, guys. Don't make me sleepy. What's the name of this key, Pute? 44. Okay, tell me the key 17. What is the name of the key 17? Come on, guys. Inura, what is 17th key? Oh, that is too bad. Vanshika?
Tilde.
Tilde, yes, tilde. It's tilde. The key is tilde. So what is this 44, Pute? Key number 44?
5.
5 mark, yeah, 5 mark. Okay, you know that, that's good. If you know that, that's good. Right, that's what some of the students, you know that they don't know. A-level students, after A-level students, university students, they don't know about this. That is too bad. Right? So okay, what is the purpose of key number 76? What is this key? 76? Yes. Key 76. That is application key, which is used to right click. So when you right click, you can see this menu. No? Similar to that, when you click somewhere, press this application key, then also you can see the right click menu. That is used for right click. When you right click somewhere, you can see this menu. Similar to that, you can use this application key to right click. So that is why the application key is used. Okay, so let me show. This is in grade 10. No, I had to teach this into grade 10 students, and grade 10 students like done. They don't know. So how to right click using keyboard, they didn't know. So you have to press the application. You also didn't know. You also didn't know how to right click using the application key. Okay, so let me show how when we are teaching this. Actually, in my classes, I'm teaching this in grade 7, Pute. Let me show you, right? I'm teaching this in grade 7. Grade 7 note. So even A-level students having this problem, Pute. A-level students, they don't know about these keys. So let's say key is tilde. Right here. I was teaching this in grade 7. You can see this is grade 7, not July release. I was teaching these kids in grade 7. How to get this? So can you tell me how to get this line in Word, Pute? The short way of getting this dotted line in Word, a short way. Can you tell me? Me line එක ගන්න කෙටි විදිහක් කියන්න බල. Getting this line. Those are basics, Pute. But I know that you don't know. Most of you don't know. That is the situation. When I saw this situation, I was really upset. So we are teaching this university students, but the thing is, they have missed fundamentals in very bad way. If I started teaching school students without joining EASE of that time, I could empower more than 10,000 kids. That time, I could empower more than 10,000 kids in the island. But unfortunately, I came out. I came out and joined with a professional institution where I taught a lot of adults, actually adult kids. Therefore, I couldn't teach like small kids like you all. So I feel really bad. I feel guilty about that actually. So here, triple asterisk, enter, will give that line. Triple equal, enter, will give this line. Triple dash, enter, will give this line. Triple underscore, enter, will give this line. So these points actually on top of this line, you can write hello, hello, hi. That is the benefit, right? On top of this line, you can write. But if you take a line like this, can you write in top of that? No, you can't write. It's going out, going away. But if you get that this line by putting triple dash, if you get this line, you can write on top of that. These points, most of the kids, university students, they don't know how to prepare a small tute, how to prepare a small tutorial or not. They don't know how to do this in Word. How to get a random paragraph, they don't know. Equal RAND will give you a random paragraph, but most of the kids, they don't know how to get a random paragraph. These are basics, fundamentals, very basics, right? I feel really bad because I couldn't give this knowledge to kids. Okay, anyway, forget about that. Now it's not relevant. So, but I'm trying to anyway give that knowledge to you all, but I know the situation now. When I came back here, the problem is that, so you already found, I know the O-level students, they already found their teachers, and I'm not a famous O-level ICT or A-level ICT teacher anymore. So therefore, they have already found teachers where most of the teachers, they teach syllabus. And so our students are also following the syllabus without knowing the practical usability of ICT. So that is what I feel now. Anyway, it's up to you to bring some kids or bring some friends if you like. You can help them learn ICT practically, right? So that is what I expect. That's why I was telling this long story. Try to help your friends learn ICT practically without learn for the examination and theories, because it's not going to help you. The practical will really help you. Examination is needed, A-pass is needed for sure. But A-pass is nothing. You can get that A-pass easily. The problem is getting good practical awareness and getting into the subject and knowing things exactly in a correct professional way. So that is the problem. That is the problem a lot of Sri Lankans are facing, and that is the problem a lot of kids are facing, because we cannot still find. So I know that I have created enough number of graduates. No, they are also having classes better than me. One guy that I recently sent him for the graduation, he got the degree recently, and he's teaching for more than 1,000 kids in class, right? But unfortunately, I know that the knowledge level of him is not really good, but he can teach for the examination. He can teach for the examination. Therefore, a lot of kids are going to him. So nothing wrong. So I should appreciate that effort, right? But the thing is that, so these graduates, most of these graduates are not good in doing the practicals. Therefore, you have to be aware of these instances and please do the practicals. That's what, again, that is, I want to highlight that as well. Don't just do the theory, do the practical, practice it. Don't tell that the Pascal will not be there in the examination, therefore forget Pascal. No, do the practical and practice Pascal. So that is the programming skill. Okay, let's move to the next thing today. So we learned about what is comment, and also we learned about writing programs and also declaring variables, different things, calculations, and all these points we have discussed last day. And we discussed we discussed an example also. So related to that books and the supermarket scenario. Today we are going to learn about very important principle, that is control structures in programming. Please write down the heading in the last page. I'll give the new tute week after next week. Until then, you have to write down the same tute. Control structures in programming. Control structures in programming. Under that, please write down. In computer programming, there are 3 basic control structures based on the program instruction flow. Based on the program instruction flow. Okay, Pute, let's take example. Let's think that you are walking in a road. So when you are walking in a road, method number 1, you can go step by step forward. 1, 2, 3, step by step forward. You're just walking in the road, and you can go step by step forward. So that is called going in order or sequence. Then at a junction, when you come to a junction, you can decide whether to turn right or to turn left, or if it is like 4-way road, you can decide either to go front, whether to walk straight or walk right or left. You can select. That is a decision. You have to take that decision based on some condition. So let's say your friend's house in right side, then you are going right side. Let's say your friend's house in left side, you are going left side. It's straight away, then you are just walking straight away. That is based on a condition you have to decide. Number 3, I'm asking this question from one of you guys. Okay, Metsani. Okay, when you expect to finish your school education, Metsan? When you are going to finish your schooling, basically.
So you mean the year or?
Yeah, year. I mean the year, yeah.
2025.
2025. That means you have 1, 2, 3, 4 more years to go. Is it? Or
Yes,
3
sir.
more years? Okay, 3 or 4, whatever. So let's say this year you are in grade 11, and the next year 2022 you are in grade 12. Let's assume like that in 2023, 13, and 24. Mostly in 2024 you are going to finish your school education, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so that means, okay, until 2024 you have to go to school, right? Until 2024, that means when you are in 2024 you have to think about stopping the school, but until then, till then you have to go to the school. That means you have to repeat the same thing. Going to school is repetitive process, right? Today also you go in the same path, next day also same path, next day also same path. Going to school is repetitive process. You have the uniform, you have to wear it and go to the school. Again the next day, wear the uniform, go to the school. Wear the uniform, go to the school. Mark the attendance, learn and come back. So same repetitive process. You have to repeat until 2024. Okay, that is called repetition. Okay, now I think you can understand these 3 control structures with this example. One is, okay, grade 1, let's think like this, grade 1 to grade 11. You came like 1 grade at a time. Grade 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's sequence. Grade 11, you have to select whether to do maths, science, IT, technology, English, languages, arts, commerce. Likewise, you have to select. So that is selection. You have to select either. You can't do commerce and art both. You can't do art and maths both. Maths and science both. It's not possible. Yeah, it's a possibility, but normally not possible. No, under normal circumstances, not possible. Maybe 1 year you can face examination in mathematics, the next year you can face examination in biology. There are some examples like that. So the first year you are doing biology, the second year you are doing mathematics. Can be. Anyway, you have to decide that. That is decision. And most of the students in A-levels, most of the Sri Lankan students in A-levels, they do the first child, there is the second child, and the third child. So what is that? Repetition. Doing the same thing again and again until a condition satisfied. Okay, these are the tree control structures available in programming also. So let's try down. So what are the tree control structures? The first one is sequence. See, in sequence, follow the instructions in order. You can say one by one. Or you can say instructions are executed one after another in an order. So that is called sequence. The second one is selection. Instruction flow is selected based on a condition. One from a set of alternatives or set of alternative paths will be followed at a time. That is selection. Repetition. Instruction flow is executed again and again based on a condition. This is also called iteration or looping. These are the tree control structures. Okay, under the first one, sequence, we have already discussed two things. That is this example, Pute. So this is falling under sequence. No need to write down because you already done that. Therefore, no need to write it again. This question or this example we have already done. The question number 2. This question that is already completed. I'll copy and paste this, then you can just copy and paste in your note, right? Okay, today what we are going to discuss, about the second thing. Number 2. Second thing or number 2, that is selection. Under that, I would like to give you one question. So let's discuss that. First of all, I'll assist, right? I'll assist. You have to do, but I'll assist. I'll help you. I'll guide you to do this. In case if you feel difficult, Pute, so my advice is come to both Sinhala medium, English medium classes. So we are not charging any extra fee. If you come to Sinhala medium class and both English medium class, the advantage is you will cover the same thing 2 times. then you can understand very well and practice it. Or at least watch the videos from both classes, Sinhala medium class and English medium class. And also there is a benefit, you can come to grade 10 class as well. We recommend that because if you miss grade 10 stuff, then still you can catch those things in grade 10. Some of the students were there in the grade 10 batch, so those students, I'm sure that you have captured the things well. But if you forgot, you can still come to the grade 10 class without any extra payment. Okay, question number 1 under selection. Input 2 numbers and display the maximum by comparing those two. Draw a flow chart. Write pseudocodes and Pascal code to show the above. This is the question. Okay, you have to input 2 numbers and find the maximum. Okay, let's try. Let's give a try, Pute. So always we have to try something. I'll give you time. You have like 3 minutes. Just give a try. In case if you fail, I'll help. Right? We are in the same class. Even though I'm the teacher and you are the students, you are students. So we are in the same class. If you cannot understand anything, you have freedom to ask. So I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not telling anyone. So if you cannot understand, I'll explain. Metsani, finish? Ramidu?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet. Okay. Timasha? Kindly talk, Pute. Timasha, have you finished?
No, sir.
No. Yeah, okay. So shall I help you? So which part is difficult, Pute? Input 2 numbers. Is it difficult or we have done that last day, right? Input 2 numbers here. Input number 1, number 2. We have done this. So inputting 2 numbers is not difficult. Then finding the largest is the next thing. Sometimes it might be difficult to you because you have not done that earlier. So this is the first time you are doing that. Maybe that can be difficult. So how can we solve this question? Okay, I'll help you now. Okay, let's say here. So first of all, you have to start. Right? After starting, you have to input number 1 and number 2. That is easy now. We have done that already. Input number 1, number 2. Then you have to decide whether number 1 greater than number 2. If it is yes, what you should do, if it is yes, you have to display number 1 because largest number is number 1, right? Understood? If not, tell me, right? Display number 1. Then if it is not, no, again you have to display number 2 because now if number 1 is large, you can display number 1. If number 1 is not large, you have to display number 2. So then finish or stop. So are you clear on this? Anything difficult? Can you understand this or any doubts? Timasha? Any doubts? Any unclear points, Pute? I think you confused this place, right? How to decide. Now you can understand that, no? Okay. Ayo Pute, kata karamu kuranta madam niti
Okay, sir.
Yenoli, okay? Yenoli?
Okay, sir.
Right. Yenoli hitiye nane, the last day you were not there. So there are symbols, Yenoli, right? So when we draw a flow chart, there are a set of symbols. I'll explain to you, but others also forgot this, no? So now, otherwise I will not explain again from the beginning, but others also forgot this. Okay, these are the symbols, Pute. So there are standard symbols. So for starting and stopping this, you have this symbol, that is circle. So we have used here අපි මෙතන circle එක use කරා මේක start කරන්න. flow chart කියන්නේ how this works, how the program works. We have to explain that diagram in a diagram. This is how the program works. The start. Then inputs and outputs are displayed inside this kind of shape, parallelogram, both input output. So you can say input number 1, number 2. Parallelogram is the shape. Then the processes, if there are any processes, you can mention in the square, but there are no processes, no calculations are there. But decisions are displayed using diamond. Decisions diamondally. So decisions have two types, yes side and no side. So here actually the output is also displayed using this symbol, input output parallelogram symbol. Then data flow is using arrows showing the direction of data. Start, after start, input in now 2 numbers. After that, comparing them. If number 1 is greater than number 2, then display the number 1. If not, display the number 2. Then stop. Yanoli, is it clear to you now? Why we are drawing like that? Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll take screenshot of this. If not, please tell me. Otherwise, like, I want to ensure that all of you understood this very well. Then I can proceed to the next one. Okay. So this is the flow chart. I'm going to insert that flow chart to your note. Right? You can also draw this in your note, or you can draw this in your book and attach that to note. Okay, that is about this. Okay, let's now we have to solve this. Actually, they are asking write pseudocode. Pseudocode means like false code. Pseudo means vyaja in Sinhala. Vyaja means boru, lie, not really. You don't want to write the really working code, but you have to write some kind of code explaining this. Some kind of anything you can write in English. You can say begin or start. Then you can say, okay, input number 1 and number 2. Then you can say if number 1 greater than number 2, then what to do? Yes, if number 1 greater than number 2, then you have to display the larger number. No, display the maximum. Yes, then display what? Tell me, number 1 or number 2? If number 1 greater than number 2, number 1 greater than number 2, number 1 lokuina number 2 tawada, number 1 greater than number 2, what to display pute? 1 or 2?
Number 1.
Number 1. Then else, what to display? If not, display
Number 2.
number 2. Then end if. If is over, then end of the program. So how simple, see here, how simple to write this in a pseudocode. This is your pseudocode. Pseudocode means some code to explain that, some kind of code. Some words which can be used to learn this. We call pseudocode. Okay. Then the real code comes. Now you have to do. Let's do the practical with me now. Here I'm using online Pascal compiler. You can also use the same. I'm sending you the link. All of you can use this in your mobile or in your computer. I'll write from the beginning. When you go to online Pascal compiler, you will see something like this. Some code is there. When you open this link, you can see some code. You can erase that, or you can erase the beginning part. No need to erase everything. And here you can give any name to your program. Let's say program name is program find max. Right? Then you have to, after that, you have to introduce the variables. May I know the variables in this program, Pute? What are the variables? Variables means change in values. What are they? What are the values? What are the values which can be having, which can have different values, a change in value? Yes, Pute. Tell me which are having change in values, Pute. Quickly. Variables means, okay. So this also we explained last day, Pute. Mekath api last day kiwwa. The variables having change in values. Hari, let's take example. So I can explain this in Sinhala, but I'm afraid that some of you cannot understand Sinhala. That's why I'm not telling in Sinhala, right? So if all are okay, then I can talk to you in Sinhala and explain. But you have to agree. Okay, how many of you can understand Sinhala well? Please raise your hand. Right. All are saying yes. Okay. Then, okay, I'll explain. So otherwise you are in big trouble because, no. Okay. So let's think like this. Api mehema hitamu. Then, yenuli langa කෝපයක් තියෙනවා කියලා හිතන්න අනිත් අය. yenuli langa mug එකක් තියෙනවා. yenuli has a mug. දැන් yenuli මේ mug එකට වතුර දානවා. yenuli මේ mug එකට වතුර දානවා. yenuli has a mug and she's going to put some water to that. Can others tell what is the amount? කොච්චර amount එකක් දාලාද කියලා අනිත් අයට කියන්න පුළුවන්ද? කොච්චර වතුර ප්‍රමාණයක් දාලාද කියලා? Metsani, can you tell?
No.
Because you can't see. Ramidu, can you say? Can you tell? Ramidu, can you tell? Ramidu ඉන්නවද පන්තියේ? Ramidu කියන එක ඇහෙන්නේ නැහැ පුතේ. ඔයා ටග් ගාලා මයික් එක ඔන් කරලා can no cannot හරි කියලා වහනවා. ඇහෙන්නේ නැහැ එතකොට මට. ඉතින් ටිකක් වෙලා මයික් එක ඔන් කරන්න. මොකද වටේ පිටේ කවුරු හරි කෑ ගහනවද නැහනේ? No. So then, Timasha, can you tell?
No, sir.
No. So it's not possible because you can't see the mug. Ne, the wara mug එක පේන්නේ. But it is a variable. Variable කියන්නේ එක භාගයක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. mug එකේ half of the mug is filled. ඒකම වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. quarter වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. කාලක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. mug එකට වතුර දාලා නැතුව හොර කරා වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් යනුලි. You only has put no water. නැත්නම් mug එක පිරෙන්නම වතුර දාලා වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. තුනෙන් දෙකක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. පහෙන් එකක් පිරෙන්න දැම්ම වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. හතරෙන් එකක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. පහෙන් තුනක්ම පිරෙන්න දැම්ම වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. කියන්න බෑ. It's a variable. හරි? එතකොට variable කියන්නේ a place to store a change in value. So then මේක අපි input කරනවා number 1 number 2. කවුරු හරි දන්නවද number 1 කීයද number 2 කීයද කියලා? Can anyone tell what is number 1, what is number 2? Do you know the value?
No, sir.
No. So what are they doing? Those are variables. Because you don't know the value. අපි value එක දන්නේ නැහැ. අපි දන්නවා කීයක් හරි තියෙනවා කියලා. We know there is a some value, but we don't know the exact value. We call them variables. And the value can be changed, right? Value can be any. So අර මං කියවනේ යනෝලිගේ මග් එකේ එක එක ප්‍රමාණ වලට වතුර තියෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. ඒ වගේ මේ N1 වල එක එක අගයන් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. Can be changed. During the program it can be varied. We don't know the value also. During the program also it can be varied. So we call them variables. Now understood what is a variable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what are the variables in this program now? Can you tell me?
Number 1 and number 2.
Number 1 and number 2. Okay, N1 and N2. Okay, va. We have to tell that to the program. We have to tell that we are telling va. Number 1, comma, number 2. So since we know that අපි දන්නේ මොනවාද කියලා. හැබැයි අපි දන්නවා යනුලේ දැම්මේ වතුර කියලා මග් එකට. මෙතනදිත් අපි දන්නේ N1 N2 මොනවාද කියලා. හැබැයි අපි දන්නවා N1 and N2 are numbers. ඒක අපි කියන්නේ integer කියලා. Integer means numbers. N1 N2 are numbers. We have to tell them. So similar to Yenoli put water to the mug, we know that is water. Even though we don't know the amount, we know that is water. Similar to that, N1 and N2, we don't know that, but we know those are integers, numbers, whole numbers. Or you can say real. Real means it can be decimal also. Full numbers end up, decimal end up. But I'm going to put, okay, I'm just going to put integer, right? Okay, now I have put numbers, integers, everything done. Now I have to get some values from the user. That means input. To get some value from the user, to get a value from a user, first of all, I have to tell the user, hey user, come here, enter some value. But you are not telling like that, hey user, come here, enter some value. We have to tell, enter number 1. That is the message that we are going to give to the user. After user give, we can say write, right? Write, enter number 1. Then after user write it, we can say read ln that number 1. So when user type the number 1, read it. So this is how you tell it to the computer. User will type another number, that is number 2. After typing the number, read it. Read that number. That is how you tell that to the user. After reading both numbers, if number 1 greater than number 2, then what you have to do? Then write ln. So what's the difference between write and write ln? Write and write ln. Write කිව්වොත් A line එකේම ඉන්නවා ලියලා. ඊළඟ line එකට යන්නේ නැහැ. It will write in the same line and stay in the same line. Write ln කිව්වොත් ලියලා ඊළඟ line එකට යනවා. හරි rule එකක් අරින්න කියන්නේ. ලියලා ඊළඟ rule එකට යන එක write ln. You write and go to the next line, that is write ln. You write and be in the same line, write. Okay, write ln මොකක්ද ලියන්නේ මම n1. n1 ලොකුයි නම් n1 is the largest number කියලා කියනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් else කියලා කියනවා. else අපි write ln ලියන්න ඕන n2 තමා ලොකු කියලා. n2 is the largest number කියලා කියනවා. That is your program. Okay, let's run this. අපි මේක run කරමු. ඔයාලා තනියෙන් ලියන්න errors එනවා නම් කියන්න. So let's run this. මට මේ errors ආව නේද? ඔයාලට නෙමෙයි මටම ඇවිල්ලා ඉතින් දැන් කොහොමද කරන්නේ? 6 වෙනි line එකේ error එකක්. මෙතන semicolon එකක් නෑ. හරි. Enter number 1 මම ගන්නවා 45. ආයෙත් අනෝ enter number 2 මම තව එකක් ගහනවා 56 ගහමු. එතකොට එයා කියනවා 56 is the largest number. ආයෙ run කරමු. Let's run again. 67. The second number එක 32 ගන්නකොට එයා කියනවා 67 is the largest. හරිද? ඔන්න ඔහම තමයි අපි program එකක් ලියලා සතුටු වෙන්නේ. සතුටු විතේද නැද්ද නම් දන්නේ නැහැ. But let's write the program. Pseudocode එකක් ලියන්න පොතේ. So after writing the pseudocode, let's try to write the program as well. So this is the program. I have sent you the link. So please start writing the program and run it. If you have any difficulty, anything difficult to understand, any difficult area, and anything you cannot understand what's going on, please ask. I'll explain. So all are in the same situation, right? Now you can say, තව එක්කෙනෙකුට වැඩියෙන් දන්නවා කියන්න බෑ. හැමෝම එකම තත්ත්වය තමයි. Therefore, don't be afraid. Ask the questions. I'll explain, right? N1 and 2, that is okay. Right, enter the number 1 එකතරේ. read එන්න ඔයාගේ number එකේ error එක කියන්නේ line number එක මොකද්ද? 13 නේ. මේකේ පුතේ මේ semicolon එක අයින් කරන්න. මේ line දෙකේ semicolon එක අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. මෙතන එකයි මෙතන එකයි. මොකද ඒක ඉවර වෙනවා කියන එක තමයි semicolon එකේ කියන්නේ. That is not required. So you can run it now. Can you see? Right, okay. number එකක් ගහන්න බලන්න මොනවා හරි. Type some number පුතේ. Another number. Okay, no? Right. Hari. Anyone else? ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අනිත් අයටත් errors තියෙනවා නම් පුතේ share කරන්න. Then I can help you, right? Okay, shall we move to the next one පුතේ then?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So if you have errors, tell me, right? Yenoli, are you okay? Because you joined later, that's why I'm always asking about you. Yenoli, are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Let's move to the next one, Pute. Right, now we have discussed how to do this, and so let's learn another thing. Another question now, question number 2. Under that, we are going to learn about some multiple if else in a statement. So please write down. Input 3 marks related to a student and find the average marks for those 3 subjects. Based on the average, find the grade according to the following criteria. According to the following criteria. If average greater than or equal to 75, then grade is A. If average greater than or equal to 60, then grade is B. If average greater than or equal to 50, then grade is C. If average greater than or equal to 40, then grade is S. If average less than 40, then grade is F. If average is less than 40, then grade is F. That is the criteria. Finally, display the grade. Draw a flow chart and write pseudocodes and Pascal codes to show the above. Show the above. You can start now. So this is a bit complex. Now you have multiple if statements. After the first condition, there's another condition. After that condition, there's another condition. Okay, give a try. Just give a try. I'll give you 4 minutes. Just give a try. Doing this one, right? I can help you doing this one also. But the thing is, you have to practice with it, right? Okay. So still we are just in the beginning, the beginning stage, first day, second day, third day, right? ඔහොම යමු අපි ඉස්සල්ලා ඔය ටික පොඩ්ඩක් ඉතින් මම උදව් කරන්නම් කමන්නේ අපි කරගෙන යමු බලන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ ළඟට හරි ආවද කියලා මේ වගේ එකක්. So let's go to the topic. Yeah, here. So this is what the answer looks like. So starting and entering 3 numbers or 3 marks. You can say number 1, number 2, mark 1, mark 2, any name, right? Any name that is up to you. You can give any name. Start number 1, number 2, number 3. Then average equal number 1, number 2, number 3, divide by 3. Based on the average. If average is greater than or equal to 75, then A. Average is greater than or equal to 60, then B. Then average is greater than or equal to 50, then C. If not, average is greater than or equal to 40, then S. And if not, fail. If not, fail. Okay, this is how. So you have to write you have to draw the flow chart. Okay. So anyone tried this and got the same results? Metsani? Vanshika? Ramidu, yes, good. Very good. Right, okay. So then others, I think you can try, right? You can write down this. And also, my expectation is you have to write the flow, not just this, Puti, you have to write the pseudocode and also the program code. You wrote all in one, that is okay, Puti, but make it more clear, right? So if you write all the conditions is one, that is also correct. Cannot say wrong to that, but make it clear by breaking it down to small chunks, small sections. Make it more clear, because everyone should understand that. And so when it is clear, you can see this clearly, the conditions are separately visible. Okay, then so you can just take a snapshot and then write down to the. So I'll add that to the note. Okay, this is the answer for the question. Right. Again, I'm showing input numbers, 3 numbers, then one by one you have to evaluate the condition. So same thing you can do using this pseudocode. You can write begin, then you can say input number 1, number 2, number 3. Then you have to evaluate if average, you need to calculate AVG or average. Full term is also okay. You can say N1 plus N2 plus N3. And all 3 you have to divide by 3. Then this is how you find the average. Then if average is greater than or equal to 75, then you can display the grade as A. Else if, second if you have to write as else if average is greater than or equal to 60, then display B. Else if average greater than or equal to 50, then display C. Else if, you can write down with me, average greater than or equal to 40, then display S. Else fail, right? We have space to write this, so let's move this above. Okay, now let's write this in the new page. Else, you can say, if all conditions are false, else you can say display fail. And end of this statement and the end of the program. This is how you write the code. The flow chart, even though the flow chart took more space, this is what the pseudocode have taken. It's very simple. Okay, I'll keep it as a challenge to you to write the program code. Now we have discussed 2. I'll keep a challenge. You just give a try to write the program code according to this pseudocode. So you have the online environment. You might get errors, but just give a try. Errors in puluwan kamanne. Just give a try. I hope you can find the answer. If you found the answer, if you write the program correctly, then you can forward it. Even wrong, if you get an error, it is also okay. Send me a screenshot. Then I know that you are doing it and I can help you resolving this by next week. For today, I'm going to stop from here. Good night. See you all next week.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye.